Hello, my name is Brad Spence, and today we'll be talking about Napoleon's Kingdom of Italy. Alright, let's begin. Since Napoleon's first victory in Italy, France had two sister republics, which were the Cisalpine and Subalpine republics, but during the War of the Second Coalition, the republics were occupied by Russia and Austria, but after the Battle of Marengo, the republics were restored by Napoleon. But in January 24, 1802, the extraordinary Cisalpine Consortia, which was summoned in Lyon, declared the end of the two republics and the formation of the Italian Republic, with Napoleon as its president, where the new constitution gave the executive a lot more power. But when Napoleon became Emperor of the French, it wasn't long till he became King of Italy. On the 17th of March, 1805, Napoleon made his 24-year-old son-in-law, Eugene de Beauharnais, as Viceroy of Italy, with him also being the heir to the kingdom if Napoleon died. The kingdom's army was trained and organized in the French style, with their uniforms also in the French style but were either white or green. The newly created Royal Army of Italy would take part in Napoleon's campaigns, with the kingdom gaining Veneto, Istria, Dalmatia, and Cartara in the Treaty of Pressburg on the 26th of December 1805. But in 1809, the Illyrian provinces would be given to France, but the kingdom would get the marshes from the Papal States. During the Peninsular War, the kingdom would send two Italian divisions to support Napoleon's invasion and occupation of the Iberian Peninsula, where the 1st Italian Division would arrive in 1808, where they were assigned to Dusmi's Corps, where they laid siege to Genoa, but were repulsed. They were then put under command of St. Cyr's 7th Corps, where they took part in the siege of Rhodes and the Battle of Cardella and Morderie. In 1809, the divisions would take part in the Battle of Vals and St. Clair's covering force during the Third Siege of Genoa. In December 1810, the two divisions were merged into the Italian division and were transferred to Suchet's 3rd Corps, where they successfully took Tosa. They were then transferred to MacDonald's 7th Corps, but were defeated by the Spanish in the Battle of El Plata, but would make up for it by successfully storming Zaragoza and at the Battle of Montsid and Sarantum, with the latter where Soult successfully faced Joachim Blake's large army on the 25th of October 1811 on St. Crispin's Day, where he defeated Blake's army, and Soult would lay siege to Valencia on the 26th of December, where Blake surrendered on the 9th of January 1812. The division would be sent to support Marmon's army but would miss the Battle of Salamanca, but would arrive to support Anne Francis Charles Terrad's troops at the Battle of Majendahonda. For the rest of 1812 to 1813, the division would spend most of its time fighting Spanish guerrillas, with its last battle they fought in Spain was the Battle of Tolsa, where they were attacked by the Allied army trying to cut off their escape. After the battle, the division was returned to Italy. The Italians would send two divisions to support Napoleon's invasion of Russia, with them put into 4th Corps under the command of Viceroy Beauharnais. They would take part in every battle that the Corps took part in, with the Italian divisions distinguishing themselves in the battles of Borodino and Maloslavkalitz. During the retreat, only 1,000 to 2,000 Italians returned, with their colours secured. The division took part in Napoleon's 1813 German campaign, where they took part in the battles of Lutzen and Leipzig. In 1813, Austria declared war on France. The Austrian army under the command of Johann von Hiller invaded Illyria, where the French and Italian army was forced to retreat back to Italy, where in October the Austrians invaded Italy. Beauharnais desperately defended the kingdom from the Austrian-Bavarian armies, with things not being much better for Napoleon and Germany. But on the 11th of January 1804, one of Napoleon's marshals and Napoleon's brother-in-law, Joachim Murat, who was also the king of Naples, switched sides and declared war on Napoleon in order to keep his kingdom, but Murat avoided any engagement of the French-Italian forces for a while. Seeing Italy as lost, Napoleon ordered Bernay to abandon Italy, which he refused, wanting to engage the coalition forces. Knowing that the enemy was concentrating between Villafranca di Verona and Rovabella, he decided to face the enemy. But the enemy, thinking that he was retreating, marched out to the Mico River, where on the 8th of February 1814, the Battle of the Mico River, where the Viceroy defeated the Austrian army. Despite this, they could not hold their position, and the French-Italian army were forced to retreat, and when news of Napoleon's abdication reached Italy, Bernay surrendered to the Allies. With the Convention of Mantua, northern Italy was now under Habsburg control, with many of the states being restored, with Lombardy and Valencia now being ruled by Austria. If you're wondering what happened to Murat, to the surprise of no one other than himself, the Allies planned to restore Ferdinand IV to the Naples throne. So Murat declared war on the Allies, but was defeated at the Battle of Terracino, and when he tried to retake his throne in October 1815 with 200 men, he was captured and executed on the 13th of October. If you like this video, like and subscribe. See you next time.